What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here doing my recap. I just got done watching episode 4 of Hard Knocks, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my recap of it and my thoughts on it. So, all right, here's the thing. Obviously, first and foremost, obviously the episode was a little frustrating. It was a good episode, but it was a little frustrating because obviously, the second half of the episode they recapped the game. And it was a loss. It was a loss. It was disappointing, and and there, we were up by 2 scores, and then we lost, and it fucking sucks. So obviously the second half of the episode was a bit frustrating because of that, but overall, I mean, it was good, and the thing that I'm coming away with though after having watched it is I think they're gonna come out on Sunday and they are going to smack the Jets in the fucking mouth. I think they're going to come out and they're just going to handle business, get their shit straight, and fucking get to it. Now, look, at the end of the day, I am still worried about, I am, at this point, I am a little bit worried about this offensive line and what they're going to do and how they're going to balance that out and everything. But we still are getting guys back. Rob Jones just came back in. Armstead, I think, will probably end up playing this next game, especially at this point. And I mean, look, Mike McDaniel said it at the end in the locker room. He's like, look, man, this shit sucks. It stings. It hurts. Let it hurt. But we're supposed to be playing our best football at the end of the season. So if this is what it takes, and look, that's the thing, bro. Honestly, I'd rather it happen here and now in this game than in the last 4 games. Because at the end of the day, with the way things are, there still is a chance. I mean, if you didn't see my playoff predictor video and whatever, check that out. There is still a chance the Dolphins get the number 1 seed. Do they have to win their last 4 games? Absolutely. But look, and let me I know I'm jumping around a little bit here, but now let me take it back to the beginning of the episode, because in the beginning of the episode, obviously we get, some shots into, the team meetings, into the individual position groups, rooms, right? The running back room and the quarterback room and all that stuff, right? By the way, real quick, just I wanted to throw out there so I don't forget it, and while it popped into my head, Tua was, they did a whole segment on like how they lay the field and where the grass comes from and stuff like that. And Tua was really down there, like getting to know the guys. And he was like, at one point in the meeting room, he's like, I think we should get the team and go, talk to these guys, because we don't really understand, how many people are really behind the scenes who make this thing, go, like people who sell concessions and tickets and the guys who lay the grass and all that stuff, right? So I thought that was really cool, really introspective, and self-aware, and just aware in general, right? Like, knowing that, you got to be, as a person, aware of how you affect the people around you and so on and so forth. And they know, these guys know what it would mean to South Florida and, Dolphins fans to get a championship and everything like that. But anyway, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, in one of the meetings, here, real quick also before I get to that, because that's kind of the big takeaway. So let me get to some of the smaller stuff. Obviously, there were a number of players and stuff featured. Alec Ingold was featured with his wife and family and stuff like that. Raheem Mostert and his family were featured. And then Mike McDaniel and his family were featured a little bit too. So you got some scenes from all of them and the 3 different families, right? And so obviously we've had, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Phillips obviously was a big thing. And, so we've gotten a lot of, that's part of, or one of the great things about this though, is that we do get to see the behind the scenes stuff and really get to know these guys more and their families and, how they interact with each other and all that stuff. And I love that. Right. So that's actually a good segue back into the main takeaways of this. So watching at the very beginning, Mike McDaniel's giving, one of his team speeches in the team meeting room. And he starts it off by saying, we just had one of the biggest road game victories in Miami Dolphins history since like the 70s, talking about the Commanders game. He said, we're the number one seed right now. Now he did try and, be like, all right, we need to, back off of that and stay focused, because he, talks about deliberate practice and being in the here and all that stuff. So he was trying to like give them their props, but also make sure that they reel that in and keep things in perspective. I don't think it worked. And then even later when they were showing the portions of like practice, you had like Ingold and some of these other guys. I think it was Ingold and Mostert who were talking though, but they were talking about the Chiefs and Bills game. And they were like, okay, well, if the Bills win, then that knocks the Chiefs out of the running for the number one seed. If the Chiefs win, then that knocks the Bills out of, playoff contention and so on and so forth. So honestly, bro, I think they might have got feeling themselves a little bit. Obviously on a 3-game win streak there at 9-3. Obviously at the time with because Mike McDaniel also mentioned we got, the majority of the rest of our games at home, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I get that at this point, and it's weird too, because I'm going to keep it real. In that Titans game, I just had a weird feeling, like right off the bat, I had a weird feeling in that game, kind of an uneasy feeling. I was trying, obviously, if you watched my live stream or if you were in my live stream at all, I was trying to, obviously stay very positive and so on and so forth. And we should have had it, man. We did have it. We should have had it that game, but, it is what it is. But anyway, my point is though, is watching it at the very beginning, and then, obviously it kind of took a bad turn when we started piling up injuries left and fucking right. So that also set a pretty not good tone for the game. And then you saw like Chubb with it's uncharacteristic. And I really feel like these guys went into this game probably feeling themselves a little too much. And then we get into the game. Obviously it was a gritty fucking game, a tough physical game. But then we start having guys drop because of, various injuries. Obviously then emotions start getting raised because all of these guys are brothers and they love each other and they love playing with each other and for each other. And when they see their brothers go down, it sucks. And, and then Chubb gets, exasperated and then slams his helmet, and that gives them a score that it cost the Dolphins 4 points. That would have been the game there. I mean, there obviously were. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I could be wrong. I could be maybe just making excuses for them, but I think that's what's happened. And so, but having said that, as I went through this episode, and especially with the way the halftime speech that Mike McDaniel gave him and the speech that he gave him at the end of the game, which I already mentioned to you, were phenomenal. And in the halftime speech, he's like, because we were down 10-7, right? He's like, all this means is that now we just got to go out and earn it. And then he said right after that, all the success we've had, we've earned. So it's not like we can't do it. We know we can do it. Let's go do it. And they fucking had it, man. They almost had it, right? We're all still kind of heated, but, and here's the positive. I feel like this team is going to come out humbled and hungry, and they know what's at stake. They know what's on the line. You know what I'm saying? And they know at this point that, and Mike even said it at the end or at some point in there. He's like, every game at this point, it was at the end, somewhere at the end. Every game at this point is absolutely crucial, 100%. To sewing up the division, to possibly still getting that number one seed, because it is still possible. I know everybody's going to be like, hey, why are we talking about that? We just had a big stinker and we suck and same old Dolphins and this, that. Dude, relax. That's not, maybe at this point, we take a little humble pie and maybe the number one seed shouldn't necessarily be the most, top priority. But we should still be fucking playing for that shit. And look, at this point, we could end up playing in Week 18 against the Bills at home to potentially knock them out of the playoffs and also get the number one seed. So we'll see what happens there, bro. But honestly, I think this is setting up for an amazing story. And, you know, I think this Dolphins team is, like I said, going to come out humble and hungry. And I think that they're just going to smack the Jets in the mouth. They're going to take care of business. They're going to get back to 10-3, back to the winning column, get to 10-3. And then we're going to go into that stretch. Now, here's the thing too. I will say this. And I think, if I'm being honest, I think this is going to happen, especially after having watched this episode and hearing what Mike had to say. I think that at this point, if players are healthy enough to play, like our top players, they're going to have to play. Because every game, we're at the point where it's elimination time. I mean, I know we're not in the playoffs yet, and technically it's not elimination time because there's still a few more games. But Mike McDaniel, this team, everybody in that building knows how important things like winning your division are and the number one seed. They know how important these things are. And frankly, bro, especially with some of the recent injuries, we could really use that fucking bye week to get some extra rest going into the playoffs. And then, yeah, bro, it would definitely help to have some home field advantage as well. So, all of that is still up for grabs. We can definitely seize it. We can definitely take it. We just got to fucking, look, it's a little bit of humble pie, like I said, bro. And honestly, I do think, and I'm going to, you know, reference that speech, the speech one more time that he gave at the very end in the locker room after they lost. It sucks. It hurts. Let it hurt. Because at the end of the day, we need to be prepared and ready to play our best football in this final stretch of games. We didn't play our best football yesterday, right? Didn't. But we can take this as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to be better. And we have another opportunity on Sunday, and then the week after that, and the week after that. And look, man, at the end of the day, it still is a pretty tall hill to climb. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. And all of us, including fans, maybe just want to take it a week at a time, even just for our own mental health, right? Because obviously you see how a lot of people are freaking out after this loss. Let's just take it 1 week at a time. Let's see what happens next week. We come out, we beat the Jets, take it on to the next week, right? But we're good, baby. We're good. We got this. We still control our destiny. Just got to handle business. And I think this team will. I'm pumped up. I can't wait for Sunday. I'm honestly just ready for fucking Sunday to be here. So that way we can get to this fucking game. Because I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back in the win column. And I'm ready for, you know, that train to get rolling again. And I want us to go strong into these last few games. I want us to get our confidence and stuff back, and I want us to go strong into these last few games, because if we just each and every week notch a win, we can be right where we want to be. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, leave comments down in the comment section, share my channel and videos with your friends and family and all that good stuff. Really appreciate it, trying to grow my channel. So any help there and all of those ways is greatly appreciated. I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Fins up all day, every day.
7-7. Miami wins it.